our dear viewers, and welcome to a new edition of our program Africa Today. In today's edition, we are going to talk about the Egyptian-Zambian relations in light of the recent visit by the Zambian President Hichilema to Egypt and his meeting with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. Egypt and Zambia have reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral ties through a series of cooperation agreements during Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema's visit to Cairo. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi emphasized Egypt's readiness to share its development expertise, support Zambia's workforce, and to encourage Egyptian investment in the country, particularly in major projects like Lobito Corridor.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi and his Zambian counterpart Hakainde Hichilema signed a series of cooperation agreements during Hichilema's official visit to Cairo on Monday to bolster bilateral ties. According to the presidency, el-Sisi confirmed during their meeting Egypt's readiness to share its development expertise and provide strong support to boost Zambia's workforce capabilities in various priority areas and enhance its state institutions. The leaders also discussed investment opportunities in the crucial Lobito Corridor project, aiming to encourage Egypt's public and private sectors to become actively involved in Zambia, fostering new avenues for collaboration between both countries' business communities. Additionally, they seek to leverage the momentum of the Egyptian-Zambian Business Forum, which is being held concurrently with President Hichilema's visit. The statement said that they also addressed major African challenges, poverty, debt, and climate change, and agreed on the need for coordinated action to advance the continent's priorities globally. el-Sisi and Hichilema highlighted the importance of utilizing frameworks like the African Continental Free Trade Area, the Common Market and Eastern Southern African COMESA, and the Tri-Party Free Trade Area. Trade between Egypt and Zambia reached $96 million in 2024, down from $183 million in 23, according to figures released by Egypt's Central Agency for Public Mobilization and Statistics. Egyptian exports to Zambia rose to $32 million in 2024, up from $18 million in 23. However, imports from Zambia fell sharply to $64 million compared to $164 million in 2023. Meanwhile, on regional and international matters, both presidents discussed developments in Gaza, Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, the Horn of Africa, and the Red Sea security and water security, reiterating their commitment to fostering stability in our African continent and the Middle East region.
To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Soad Shalabi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Shalabi, good afternoon to you. Ambassador Shalabi? Ambassador Shalabi?
Yes.
Good day to you. How do you see the areas of cooperation covered by the newly signed agreement between Egypt and Zambia during the last visit by the Zambian president to Egypt and his meeting with President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi?
President Hichilema and President Sisi met yesterday on an official visit of His Excellency Hichilema, President of Zambia, and it was a great opportunity to update all the bilateral ties. They had consultations and they had official talks and private talks in order to follow up on what is happening between the two countries. The two leaders also discussed problems that are facing African countries and African continent as a whole, and also all the hot issues that are facing Egypt, like in the Middle East, Gaza and Sudan. They have touched on also the Democratic Republic of Congo, the problem that is happening in the east of Congo. So they have discussed the cooperation between the two countries, and they signed a number of agreements between Zambia and Egypt.
Indeed. Ambassador Shalabi, how will Egypt's expertise and workforce development support benefit Zambia's institutions and economy from your point of view?
The president of Zambia visited the Institute of Veterinary Serum and Vaccine in Abbasiyah, and this is related to the Agricultural Research Center. So he was impressed by the research production efforts and by the level of expertise that the Egyptians have reached in research. That is why he has requested benefiting from the Egyptian expertise to, of course, exchange the benefits and provide Egyptian support to the Zambian workforce in order to benefit from the experience. Also, the capacity building of the Zambians in the fields of agriculture, in the field of industry, in all the fields that Egypt is offering in order to raise the standard and to support the Zambian workforce.
Yes. Ambassador Shalabi, can you elaborate on the investment opportunities in the Lobito corridor and how the Egyptian businesses can engage in this project?
Yes, this is an initiative that is going to stimulate the investment opportunities, whether it is public or private sectors, in Zambia, because Zambia has a lot of opportunities that Egypt can use by investment opportunities, by encouraging the business community and capitalize on the Zambian Business Forum, which was accompanying the President Hichilema. So it is important that we look into other initiatives and also investment opportunities in Zambia.
Ambassador Shalabi, actually the Egyptian-Zambian Business Forum coincided with the visit. What were the main outcomes and how will that impact the bilateral trade relations?
Well, of course, as you know, Zambia, Lusaka is an important country in the southern Africa, and there is direct flights between Egypt and Lusaka, and there has been a lot of interest because of it is hosting the COMESA in Zambia. So there has been a lot of, and Egypt is a member of COMESA, so it is important that many Egyptians could make use of the free trade that is offered by the COMESA agreement, and also not only the COMESA, which is the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, but also the African Continental Free Trade Area, and the Tripartite Free Trade Area, which is the Eastern African region. So the investors and the investment opportunities are humongous, and it should be used for regional integration and for including all the African Eastern countries in the investments in the Southern Africa.
Ambassador Shalabi, actually trade figures between Egypt and Zambia showed a decline in total volume. What strategies are in place to revitalize and expand the trade between Egypt and Zambia?
As you know, there has been a lot of challenges facing development in Africa,
Yep.
and increasing the trade and raising the bar up to include other issues like facing the rate of high rate of poverty, the debt crisis, and the climate change. These are high issues that should be addressed in these meetings, and of course taking a joint action between Egypt and Zambia in the different international initiatives and in the investments opportunities in the increasing the trade between Egypt and Zambia and also the southern countries, because Zambia is a member of SADC, so increasing the opportunities of trade between Egypt and SADC countries is also a very important aim that we have to look at.
Indeed. In terms of regional security, what common concerns do Egypt and Zambia share, and how are they collaborating to address these issues of concern on the security level?
Peace and security and stability in Africa is one of the agenda items that were on the discussions between the two leaders, and of course the commitment of both leaders to foster stability and to increase all the efforts that have been made by Egypt, whether it is in the Middle East, like Gaza, facing the war in Gaza, or in the Sudan, or the Democratic Republic of Congo, or the Horn of Africa, and the Red Sea security, water security, all these issues. There has been coordination between the two leaders in order to take a position, mutual agreement on the international agenda. So there has been collaboration between Egypt and Zambia for many years, but with the presidential visit, it raises the standard of this collaboration and this cooperation.
Indeed, Ambassador Soad Shalabi, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for your precious input. Egypt and Sudan have reiterated that their water security is unified and invincible matter, emphasizing the necessity of cooperation to safeguard their full water rights. Following a high-level consultative meeting in Cairo, foreign and irrigation ministers from both nations issued a joint statement rejecting the unilateral actions that could disrupt their shared water interests.
Egypt and Sudan stated on Monday that Egyptian and Sudanese water security are inseparable and form a single unified entity, asserting their rejection of any unilateral actions that could harm their mutual water interests. This was stated in a joint statement issued by the foreign and irrigation ministers of Egypt and Sudan following their consultative meeting held in Cairo. Technical experts from both sides participated. The discussion seemed cordial and constructive, marking mutual understanding. The two sides reviewed areas of water cooperation and explored ways to strengthen them to serve the interests of the brotherly people of the two countries. They agreed to reinforce the concept of water security and work jointly to safeguard the full water rights of both countries as required by their agreements and the applicable rules of international law. Additionally, they emphasized the importance of coordinating their positions in various regional and international forums, particularly regarding water rights. They underscored the necessity of adhering to all relevant agreements in regional and international frameworks. They called on all parties to refrain from unilateral actions that could harm their shared water interests. Both countries reaffirmed their commitment to working with the Nile Basin Initiative member states to restore consensus and bring the initiative back to its foundational principles of cooperation and inclusivity. They emphasized the importance of preserving the initiative as a comprehensive mechanism that includes all basin countries and serves as a cornerstone for achieving mutual water benefits. In this context, the two sides agreed to hold a high-level workshop with the participation of relevant regional and international organizations to discuss water-related issues and their impact on various sectors, including climate change and security in the Horn of Africa. Regarding the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, the two sides discussed recent developments and acknowledged the serious risks of Ethiopia's unilateral first dam filling, particularly concerning dam. They reaffirmed the importance of coordinating their efforts at regional, continental, and international levels to reach a comprehensive, fair, and legally binding agreement to the filling and operation of the dam. Both nations emphasized that the dam issue concerns the three directly affected countries, Egypt, Sudan, and Ethiopia, without drawing other Nile Basin states into the dispute. They reiterated their commitment to achieving peaceful and political solutions. The discussions also covered ways to enhance developmental projects between the two countries to strengthen sectoral cooperation.
And amid growing concerns about the climate change and the sustainable architecture, a small village in Morocco is witnessing a return to the ancient building technique. In Ouitargan, architect Khalil Murad El Ghilali is spearheading a project to construct 200 earthen houses using rammed earth technology, which is an approach once used to build Morocco's iconic kashkabas.
Like an outpost, but in Organi village we can see the beginnings of a return to earthen architecture. At the moment there are just a few completed houses, but the complex being built here is more ambitious. Khalil Murad El Galili is aiming to construct 200 houses, each between 75 and 100 square meters across 7 hectares. El Galili is an enthusiastic exponent of these rammed earth buildings. This technology has been deployed to construct some of the famous kasabas of Morocco. Within El Galili's profession, there are differences of opinion about the robustness of these types of buildings in changing climates and environments, but the issue of climate change has increased interest in the technology. The basic idea of this type of construction is the use of natural materials such as soil and stone, which are readily available here, reducing the need to shift building materials over long distances. Supporters point out they have a high thermal mass which slows down the passage of heat through the deep 50-centimeter walls. This means the interior is cooler during the heat of the day, and the building material releases the absorbed heat when the temperature falls, usually at night. However, there are obstacles to overcome and new technological solutions required if these buildings are to become more widespread, especially in cities where large, dense populations may require taller, larger buildings. El Galili believes returning to the use of these natural materials and construction requires a new, more innovative way of looking at urban design. El Galili and another architect, El Mahdi Bil Yasmin, have won the competition to build a showcase for the Moroccan pavilion at the Venice Biennale. Building construction in many cities across the world is highly regulated for safety and environmental reasons, and city planners and civil engineers have to have confidence in the designs.
Well, with that, our viewers, we come to the end of this edition of Africa Today. Many thanks for watching.